Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to my YouTube channel. The topic for today is, what is your net worth? A net worth is basically your assets minus your liabilities. Your assets are things you own that have value, such as cash, cash you have it with you, or cash you have in your debit cards. It can be savings, real estate, stocks, a car, and other assets you own. And then you have your liabilities. So your liabilities are debts or things you owe, such as loans. It can be student loans, personal loans, credit card debts, mortgage, and other liabilities you owe. So basically your net worth is your assets minus your liabilities. So the first question you should ask yourself is, do you know your net worth? If you don't know your net worth, then you need to actually calculate your net worth. And I will show you later in this video how to do that. But if you do know your net worth, then you need to ask yourself, do you have a positive net worth, which means you own more than you owe, or a negative net worth, which means you owe more than you own? So you have to ask yourself that if you know your net worth. So why is it important to know your net worth, and why am I actually doing a video about this? Knowing your net worth is really important because it gives you a clear picture of your financial health. It also shows progress if you have a positive net worth, or problems if you have a negative net worth. Also helps you to make smarter decisions, especially if you have a negative net worth. And more importantly, it forces honesty, and this has been true for me. I did not know my net worth until a couple of weeks ago, and I knew I was on the negative. I had a negative net worth, but I didn't know how much. I was so surprised when it showed me the whole picture and how much negative I was in. So it kind of forces honesty, and knowing your net worth will do that for you. If you know your net worth, congrats, that's amazing, and hopefully you do have a positive net worth. If you don't have a positive net worth and you do have a negative net worth, then the next question is, what are you doing about it? You need to get on it and move from a negative to a neutral or a positive. And if you don't know your net worth, then the next step is to actually know your net worth. And how do you do that? So to know your net worth, you can just grab, if you want to make it simple, just grab a pen and a paper and a calculator, use your phone, and list your assets. So what you own, it can be cash, investments, property, vehicles, valuables such as jewelry, especially Somalis, we have gold, business ownership, and add up all the total and put it on the side. So that is your asset. And then you have your liabilities, things you owe. It can be credit card balance, student loans, car loans, mortgage balance, personal loans, any other debt. And add up the total of your liability and put it aside. Then now get your total asset minus your total liability, and that is your net worth. For example, if you have assets of 100,000 and you have liabilities of 40,000, you minus your assets from your liability, and then your net worth is 60,000. So that is your net worth. So you can do this in a simple way. Just grab a pen, a paper, and your phone, especially if you have a simple assets and liabilities. Or you can use ChatGPT like I did, and it gives you tips to do that. For example, you can give a ChatGPT a list of your assets and a list of your liabilities, and it does something like this, like a table for you, and then it gives you your net worth. So it depends on you, but I will say at the beginning, if just grab a pen and a paper and get started. Don't wait for it to get fancy or to use. I personally use Simplify by Quickens. This is a paid product, unfortunately, so if you can afford it, then I will say go for it. I think it's $3.99 a month, but then you have to pay it yearly or annually, and I think I paid $30, which was perfect for me, and I could afford it, and I don't have to worry about it until next year. What I love about this product is their dashboard. Their dashboard gives you the whole picture, and the whole reason why I know my net worth is because of this. Because on the side, like you can see over here, it shows your net worth, and then you can add, for example, you can add your banking. So I added my checking and savings, my credit card, I added my investment, my Roth IRA, and you don't see it from here, but you can add your assets and your liabilities. You can do it automatically or you can do it manually. For example, I added my banking automatically and my investment, but for my assets and liability, I did that manually. And after all that, it calculates your net worth, and you can see it over here. And for me, unfortunately, I see my negative net worth, and I actually have this dashboard open. I cannot show you my personal one, but I have my dashboard open every day next to my Gmail, my calendar, and my goals, so I can see it every day. So you have that on the side, and then you have your budgeting and spending and other stuff. Beginning, I got this product for budgeting and savings, but then it has the net worth, which is amazing, and it shows the bigger picture of your financial health. So I will say, if you have the option of paying this, which I think is going to be $30 a year, you can pay for it. If not, then I will say use ChatGPT. It's free. It will give you a table or a Google Sheet or a Excel template, and you can just use that and you don't have to pay for it. The most important is that you know your net worth. That's the most important, is know your net worth. And after you know your net worth, know if you have a positive net worth, congrats. If you don't have a positive net worth and you do have a negative net worth, then it's like, what can you do about it, and how can you go from negative to positive? So that's the main point for this video. I'm glad I'm doing this topic before I do my other financial topics I want to talk about. For example, I want to show how to invest halal in a halal way, and then I have budgeting and financial topics I want to talk about. But before you even do that, you need to know your net worth, because you will know what's important for you. So hopefully this video was helpful, and let me know if you do know your net worth or if not, and what you are doing about it.